Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This time we have Vice President Kamala Harris up against Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. So again, Harris constantly is behind Biden by about 3 or 4 points or so in terms of favorabilities and just in terms of polling. She's constantly behind him. So that'll definitely make it hard for her to win the presidency. Plus her rural appeal is pretty weak. She usually underperforms in the rural areas, I would say. Um, and in the Rust Belt as well, I think, again, she's not a super populist candidate. She could be seen as a more like coastal elite, I would say. So that would definitely hurt her in the Rust Belt. But let's get on with this prediction. So Colorado, safe Democratic. I still think the trends here will save Harris, and she'll win Colorado by about 11 points against DeSantis. Alaska would just be safe Republican. She does not have good rural appeal, so she really wouldn't do well in this state. Iowa and Ohio, again, it would shift these states to safe Republican just because her populist appeal is very weak and her rural appeal is very weak, and her favorabilities trail Biden by about 4 or so points. So DeSantis probably win each state by like 11 points in Iowa, 10 points in Ohio. Texas would be likely Republican. DeSantis probably wins it by about like 6 points against Harris. He would do decent in Texas. Florida would win by a safe Republican margin. It's his home state. He would win it by about 11 points against her. In New England, Maine, and New Hampshire, I could see Maine going about a likely margin while DeSantis wins Maine second. But in New Hampshire, with a Chris Sununu endorsement and without Trump's toxic baggage in the swing state, even though it's a very social liberal state, I could see New Hampshire just narrowly going in favor of DeSantis by about 0.8%. You get a narrow win there just because Harris is pretty unpopular with independent voters, as we've seen in the polling. In Virginia and New Mexico, I don't think these would be DeSantis victories, but he would definitely make them competitive swing states because of Harris's unpopularity here. In North Carolina and Georgia, because of DeSantis being from the South and him doing decent with independent voters here, I could see him winning Georgia and North Carolina by each lean margins. In the Rust Belt states and Nebraska second, it's tough with Nebraska second, but I still think it would go to Harris just because of the trends there. She'll win by under 1% in Nebraska second. In Minnesota, she would still win it by a lean margin. I don't see Minnesota flipping, but it'll definitely be closer. In Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, I see DeSantis winning Wisconsin by 2, Pennsylvania by 2, and him even narrowly flipping Michigan against Kamala Harris. In Nevada and Arizona, I see DeSantis outpacing Trump in both these states. He'll probably easily win Nevada by 3 and easily win Arizona by about 2. So pretty much the only difference between a Trump and DeSantis map with Harris is New Hampshire flips in favor of DeSantis. Honestly, this would result in pretty much a 55 to 45 Republican Senate. So they'll gain 6 seats against the Democrats because of Harris's unpopularity. So, yeah, I just don't think she's a good candidate. Plus, she would just set the Democrats back in the Senate for like 4 years or so they could recapture it. It would be a pretty bad defeat for the Democrats here if they nominate Harris, which is why I don't think they should really ever nominate her. I think there's better options out there, especially like Gretchen Whitmer. She's actually a very good electoral competitor. But that's my election prediction. It was Harris versus DeSantis. I'll see you guys in the next video.